Just a quick one. In the book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 1 to 8, I'm going to read 3. Then what advantage has the Jew, or what is the value of circumcision? This was a question that Paul asked. If everyone, both Jew, both Gentile, is actually guilty of sin, is there any benefit being just a Jew? But then let's go down to verse 2. In verse 2, and it continues and it says, much in every way to begin with, the Jews were entrusted with the oracles of God. Now, Paul answers and he says, I want to explain. The Jews were also given the oracles of God, meaning that the Jews was given the covenant, Jews were given the promises, Jews were given the law, the Torah, and God also came in flesh through the bloodline of David. This means that Israel was a little more, favored because they had direct revelation, direct access to revelation from God. Meanwhile, the Gentiles did not have such revelation. Now, I'm going to go down to verse 3. And despite the fact that the Jews had such revelation, yes, not all of them were perfect, were they? Not all of them obeyed God, were they? In fact, many of the Jews went against Christ. Many of the Jews almost picked up a stone and stoned Jesus, accusing him of blasphemy when he said that he and God were one. So many of the Jews did not keep the law. Many of the Jews disobeyed God. Many of the Jews went away from God. Now, I'm going to move on to verse 3. This is what verse 3 has to say. Now, verse 3, and I read, what if some were unfaithful? Does their faithlessness nullify the faithfulness of God? Just as you know that many Jews did not believe in Jesus, did not obey God, did things that were against God over and over and over in the Jewish history, even in the Bible. Paul even went ahead and asked if the unbelief of people cancels God's faithfulness. But the truth is that your unbelief and your unfaithfulness does not cancel God's faithfulness. It has nothing to do with God's faithfulness. You can still disobey God. You can do what you want to do. You can rebel against God. But that does not mean that God will not be faithful. God will always be faithful, despite the fact that you are unfaithful. And his faithfulness has nothing to do with your unfaithfulness. It has nothing to do with it. For he is God and he can do whatever he wants to do. And it's the truth and the embodiment of truth. And there is no other truth apart from him. Let us go to verse 4 and hear what verse 4 has to say. Now, verse 4 says, by no means let God be true, though everyone were a liar, as it is written, that you may be justified in your own words